romoplans, and today I'm here to share with you some of the new items that are going to be coming out with the MakseLife upcoming launch. So launch dates, before we get started, I wanted to go over the launch dates. It's going to be October 21st if you are a Club Makse member, and then the general launch will be October 22nd. Both of these will go live at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely keep those dates in mind. I will have a link down below to shop along with the discount code. It's no extra cost to you, but it does help me out as well if you use my link. I would love it. So let's just go ahead and jump in. I've got the planner and then a couple of accessories, but we'll talk about everything as well. So in the box that you get this card, and it just has some information about Club Makse. If you're not aware, Club Makse is their paid coaching membership. So it's like group coaching, and Sierra does it. They also have a therapist that helps with that as well. It's really good. Each month has a topic, and so you get this card that kind of tells you a little bit about it. It also tells you like the different things that they do, some reviews as well, and then a link to a free training. So that will come in your box. And then the planner comes wrapped in this plastic. And then it comes in this box. Now, I love this box. I have all of my boxes from all of the years. It has my previous planners in it. I've been using MakseLife in one way or the other since 2021. I absolutely love this planner. I love this planner brand. And while some years have been definitely more consistent than others in this planner, it's always the planner that I come back to, always. And I just fall in love with it every time. And so you get this box. It just has these gray stripe with the compass wheel here, and the back is just gray stripe as well. And then your planner is bubble wrapped. Now I went with the Inspire cover by Tisa. This is Tisa. Just gonna put that off to the side. And so I absolutely love this cover. So there are definitely some differences this year from this year to last year. So I have my 2024 planner here just so we can compare everything. So as you can see, the coil is a lot bigger this year, which I love. I am a sticker user, so I love a bigger coil. Also the cover, this one is a little bit more stiff than this one. This one's a little bit more bendy. It's still a really good quality cover. It's not super bendy, so you're still going to protect your planner really well. But the covers this year are not only interchangeable, they are reversible. So, and these are not as well. So that is one of the differences from the cover. But they both have like that soft feeling. It's not the exact same from last year, but it's still kind of that soft feeling. It's still definitely in that same family of texture. Also, you do not get this loop with this year. But with having a bigger coil, I don't think, because the loop is really nice because with it being on this coil, and especially if you use stickers, it's nice to help keep it closed. But with this bigger coil, I don't think it's as needed to have that loop. All right, so like I said, these are interchangeable reversible covers. So this is the front, and then this is the back. You just have that stripe and then the MakseLife logo down here. And then it says Shine, Inspire, Learn, Grow. I love the simplified look of this. It just has the stripe and then the words. It's just so great, and it screams, this is Tisa. If you have not checked her out, definitely check her out. She does a lot of like blinging things, and with rainbow colors, and just so fun. So then when you go on the inside, you definitely have, it's definitely a little bit bolder as far as the design goes. So then you have, still in those rainbow colors, you have all of these word lines. Now this one has the logo because what you do when you reverse the covers, which I will show you in a little bit. This will actually become your back cover, and then your front will be this. So the back cover will become your front cover will become your back cover, and that way you're not flipping it vertically. So on this back cover, if you have this side as your cover, what's inside on this back will be what's on the front. So this will be on the inside of the back, but so you'll still be able to see it right side up. So I love that they did that. So it's nothing is upside down on any of the covers. So now looking in here, we get this Today pop-in ruler. I love this. I love that it's a little bit bendy, but it's not super bendy. So I don't think it's gonna break. I've been using mine all year. They also have a 3-pack in the shop that has annual goals, monthly goals, and this week, I believe, that you can get as well. So you have that, and it just easily pops in, super easy as well. All right, so I zoomed you in so you could kind of see things a little bit more clearly. So you have your cover page, it says 2025, it has your contact information, it has vertical weekly edition. I do not have the horizontal edition, but they do have a horizontal layout. So then when you turn the page, you have just their contact page, where to find them on social media and things like that. And then you have a letter from Sierra. So Sierra is the founder of the company, and she's also a planner girl herself, and she is a life coach. So she really wanted to create a planner that was everything that she wanted in a planner, but also included her goal setting system that she worked on with her clients. And so that is how she created MakseLife. So a new change that we have this year is that we have a 2025 year at a glance. And this year at a glance, it does have color, does have the color in here. This overall is a very neutral planner, but it does have some color sprinkled in with their areas of life colors. But overall, it is a very neutral planner. What I love about this is that you have the calendar, and then you have some lines underneath it. So you can put, like, if you mark January 5th, you can put, okay, the 5th is so-and-so's birthday, or the 5th, whatever the event is. And then here at the bottom, you have some dot grid. So you can, if you just want to put like a key down here of the colors, you can do that, or you can use this for whatever you want to use it for. But I love that it's just very functional, and you not only see like what dates are important, but what's actually happening on those dates. And then you go into the goal setting pages. So getting started, this is just talking about the system. It's an introduction to their system. If you've never done their system before, these are pages that will really explain to you what their system is. And so basically their system is very accessible. It's very simple. They really simplify it so you can take action to achieve your goals. And so you have your weekly notes page, your weekly tips, your Wheel of Life icon, and your habit tracking. And then the steps, you have your compass assessment, setting intentions, your annual goals and vision, monthly goals and weekly actions, and then monthly reflections and quarterly review. So then it goes into your compass assessment. And this page just kind of tells you about the compass assessment. So really what this is you're going to rate your areas of life. And what this does is that it establishes a starting point, because you always need to know where you are to know where you need to go and how far that gap is. And that's kind of where your goals live, within that gap. And so you need to evaluate your life as a whole, look at all of the areas of life, not just a couple, and then embrace the growth that you'll see through the compass assessment through the year. So then it has just an example, and this is where your compass assessment is, and it has the steps to do it, and then your final step here. So what you're going to do, and then it has an example. So what you're going to do is on this page, you have your questions, and your assessment scoring. So you have 8 questions for each area of life, and you can rate yourself from 1 to 10. Now, there's a couple of different schools of thought on this. So some people will assign a option to the numbers 1 through 10. So like 1 is this does not apply at all, like none. And then 10 is this applies all the time. And then you just work your way from there on the scale of 1 to 10. And that is how you answer the questions, which can be really good if you want to get really strategic and analytical and make sure that the way you're answering each question is even. That can be a really good system to do. Lately, what I've been doing is like 10 is I do this all the time. 5 is I'm like mid-grade. Like I do this half the time. And then 1 is I don't do this at all. And then 3 is kind of between I don't do this, I do it half the time. 7 is between I do this half the time and I do this all the time. And then depending on how much something applies to me, that is kind of where I fall within those numbers as well. So that is kind of a simpler version to do that rather than like setting 1 through 10 of scoring, a scoring there, but it's up to you. What I would say is whatever you start with, kind of continue that. That way, whenever you're doing your compass assessments through the year, you're keeping that same scale, whether or not it's the 1 through 10, or it's kind of going off your gut, what you're feeling. So then for your scores, you'll just take the average of those scores, and that is what you put on your compass wheel. So you can do this a couple of different ways. So this is mine from last year. I just took their markers. So they have 2 types of markers in their shop. They have their like highlighter markers. So you have a chisel tip, and then you just have like a fine tip. And then they have dot markers. So you have a dot. And then you have a fine tip. And their marker sets, they come in all of the areas of life. So you get all 8 colors, and then you get this darker gray, this Makse darker gray. So what I did was I took the highlighter and I put where I was, just drew it out, and then I put a dot of where I wanted to be by the end of the year. And you'll see that some of these went up a lot, and some of these only went up a little. And it really just depends on what I wanted to achieve this year in each of those areas of life. So I like to put where I want to be, just because I want to see how much I improved with where I wanted to improve in the beginning of the year. So then once you do your compass assessment, then you're going to set your intentions. So these are what could I use more of in my life this year? What could I use less of? What characteristics would I like to nurture? 3 habits I want to develop. This year I will be more, I will do less, I will give myself grace for, I will let go of, I will embrace. So then you have a spot for your word of the year. But then what I love about this planner is you have a spot where what your word means to you. So a lot of times I will set a word of the year, and then by the middle of the year, I'm thinking, why did I set this word? Like, what was my mindset when I set this word? I kind of lose the inspiration for the word as it gets more into the year. So I love having this space to go back and say and read exactly where my head was at and why I chose this word. So I can be reminded, this is what I wanted from this year. And this is why this word was so important to me that I chose it for my word of the year. So I love that. So then you go into the setting the goals. So then it talks about committing to goals, reviewing goals, and removing goals, because sometimes we do need to remove goals, and because our life changes. So it just talks about that. It talks about writing goals. It has some examples of writing goals. And it talks about goals being specific and realistic and measurable. So this is kind of the SMART goals way of doing it. I will say my yearly goals are really not SMART goals. I have found that I do more vague yearly goals, and then my actionable steps throughout the quarters and the months are drilling it down more. But I like to keep my yearly goals a little bit more vague, just because anything can change in the year. So, but if you are struggling with how to write your goals, this is a really good reference page. Then it talks about the 3 types of goals. You have your stretch goals. Those are your big dream goals. You have your progress goals. So those are going to encompass the vision and actions that will take you from where you are and then where you desire to be. So the goals that are going to take you, fill in that gap of where you are and where you want to be. And then you have your maintenance goals, and those are goals, tasks, or intentions that will maintain what's good and working in your life. So if you've been working on something for a while and you want to continue to do that, but it's something that you're setting the goal just so you can stay more consistent, then those are your maintenance goals. So then it talks about annual goals, monthly goals, weekly actions, and then weekly reflections. So your has some information about like annual goals being your long-term vision. Your monthly goals is a chunk down and check in to your annual goals. Your weekly actions are the actions and tasks and habits that you will help achieve your monthly goals. So it just builds on one another. Your weekly actions help your monthly goals help your annual goals. Or you can look at it backwards. Your annual goals break down to your monthly goals, break down to your weekly actions. And then your weekly reflection questions. What were your wins? What worked? What didn't work? What lessons did you learn? What adjustments do you need to make? And so it talks about those a little bit more in detail. And this is a really good page that I'm glad they kept in, because this just has some topics for each of the areas of life. You do not have to set a goal for every single one of these, but it gives a good idea, especially because for me, personal, fun and recreation, and then like family and relationships, those kind of meld together for me, especially personal and fun and recreation. So, and personal and spiritual and personal growth, those kind of, in my mind, it's hard to distinguish them. So this page really helps when I'm looking at a goal, figuring out what category I need to put it in. So then we have the stock grid page, and you can use the space for anything you want to use it for. You can use the space to create a list or a mind map of ideas, dreams. So this year, what I did was, because I said that I create kind of a vaguer yearly goals, what I did this year is I put my yearly goals. So this is what I wanted to do this year, and then how it breaks down to each of the categories. So this first one, I want to create a life I love by spending time doing things that bring me joy. That's the goal, is I want to create a life I love. I want to do things that bring me joy. But that breaks down to personal, fun and recreation, family and relationships, spiritual and personal growth. Again, those 4 categories that kind of meld together a little bit and overlap. And then like this one, create a home space that I love, because I want, that has to do with my home, its physical environment, but because it also has to do with routines that I'm going to be doing, that's also dealing with personal. So this is how I used this page. You can use this page for however you want to. You can use it for a brainstorm page for goals before you write them down in the annual goal section. But this is how I used it, so I could have those kind of those yearly goals and which categories they were falling into. So then when you turn the page, you go into your annual goals. So you get a section, a big section for each of your areas of life. So this spread has the first 4. So for each one, you have a focus, and then it says, how will my life improve by reaching these goals? This is a dot grid, and I love that this is a dot grid. So you can list it out. You can list out your goals and action steps that you want to do. So for me, because I had more vague, so like this page, okay, well, the goal is I want to create a life I love. by doing things I enjoy. So how that breaks down is my personal is memory keeping, project life, December daily, routines, AM routine, PM routine, fun and recreation, read 55 books total. I've done that. And travel. I went to Go Wild, and then we did some birthday trips. So now this is really breaking out what I want to do as well over the year. Or you could do a mind map. I love a mind map. I absolutely love a mind map. I didn't do them for this year, but I have done them in the past, and I love it. And that works really well if you, for health goals. That is kind of how I do my big breakdown for my health goals, because there are so many different ways to achieve all of what I want to do, because I want to look at my physical health as a whole. So you have that for personal, fun and rec, work and learning, family and relationships. And then you turn the page and you have the exact same thing for health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial and physical environment. So, and then with spiritual and personal growth, I love that they put those together, because you may not have any spiritual goals, but there may be things that you want to do as far as your personal growth. So then you have those. Then you go in here and you have 2 blank pages. These are not dot grid, and this is for your vision board. You can use these for anything you want. So what I will actually probably do this year is I will do this as a vision board. I will create a vision board. I like to create a vision board in Canva and then print it off on sticker paper, because that way I can make sure that I am encompassing everything that I want to put on the vision board. I can have my word of the year, and I don't have to worry about space or anything like that. So that's probably what I'm going to do here. And then here, I'm going to put my first quarter goals. I set quarterly goals. I have found that it really works for me to break down my annual goals into a quarterly goals and then break those down to monthly goals. Because there's not a designated spot for that in this planner, I will use this page for that. So again, and I may do, because it has the writing up here, I may just put them out, type them up and print it on sticker paper and put that on here. So that is probably what I'm planning on doing, but you can use both of these as a vision board. And then you have an idea garden. So you can use the space to plant any ideas that you have for future goals and projects. So this is a really good thing you can, for brainstorming. You can use this if you wanted to use this for like, as you go through the months in the year, think of action steps that you want to do. And that way, when you're setting your next month, your next quarter, your next month goals, or even next year's goals, you kind of have a place where you can do that. So since this page is the one right before, I may use this for my quarter 1 goals and then use this as my ideas, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I still have some time before I set up the planner. So, but I love that they added in this page, because I keep a page where I just jot down ideas. Like right now, I have a 2025 brainstorm page already. I have not started any prep work for my goals, but these are just things that have popped in my head that I want to achieve, that it's like, hey, I would really like to do that, but that's not going to happen before the end of the year. That's a 2025 thing. So this page actually, it replaced this page, this goal setting quick tips. So this page is no longer in the planner, but there are so many tips throughout the planner that I don't think that you're going to really lose anything with this. And I'm not sure if this is actually printable on their website. It may be, but this is what this page replaced. I think this is a great replacement to make this page so much more functional. So then you go into your January divider. Now these are the same paperweight of this. Now this paper is 120 pounds. It is bright white. I absolutely love it. I love that it's bright white. I love that it's 120 pound. It's smooth. So other planners kind of have like a grit. It's smooth, so it still handles like all of the pins that you would normally do in a planner as well. So then you have a laminated tab, and each divider has a quote. So this one says, "Every day is a fresh start, just begin." And then you have your compass wheel. So then you go into your monthly view. Now this is one of those spots where you have some color in the planner. So you have a quote up here for every month. You have a planner, it is a Sunday start. You have a sidebar, and then you have your calendar for the next month. And then the Sunday through Saturday in notes, that's in blue, and then your numbers are in blue, but your month is in gray. It does have holidays in here as well, and it is boxed in. So then you go into your monthly goals. So here you have all of your goals on this 2-page spread. You have a quote up here. It just says January goals. For each of the goals, you have a focus. So you can put what your focus is for the month, and then you can just write down your goals. And these are aligned as sections. Then you go into your weekly reflections page. So this changed from this year. Okay, so let's look at it comparatively. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. So this year you have your a big dot grid section. You have your questions up at the top. You have your MakseLife right here. And then you have your coaching tip down at the bottom. This year, or for 2025, at the top it says reflect on your week. Use these reflections to help guide your actions for the coming week. So one of the things with MakseLife is you look at your goals weekly. So if you need to update anything and change anything weekly, you can do that. Then on the side, you have wins, working, not working, lessons, and adjustments. Then I hope you can see, but these have like dark circles here. So if you wanted to draw boxes for these, it already marks it for you to do. So you can do that. So you don't have to count it every week. Or, it's easy to tell what space is for what. And then down at the bottom, you have a coaching tip, a journal prompt, and an affirmation. And then the weekly actions did not change. So you have a line spot for each of the categories. It has the dates that it's working on, and that way you can list out what your weekly actions are for that week. So now you can kind of look at it and go, okay, well, this is my monthly goals. So for this week, this is what I'm focusing on. In order to achieve this is what I need to do this week. So then you go into the weekly layout. Now, like I said, they do have a horizontal layout, and I'll pop that up on the screen here so you can see what it looks like, but you still get the habits here. Pretty much all of the features of this are in that horizontal layout. This is actually my favorite vertical design. I love this because it's lined. It does not have sections, so you're not limited to those 3 sections. But I love that you can just kind of plan this however you need to plan it. And that could change week to week. It could change month to month, whatever is going on in your life. And then it has your dates. It has the calendar. It does have this little box up here. You can put thin washi up there. You can put your weather up there. You can just put anything like that you want to put top of mind for the day. And then down here you have the compass wheel, and then you have this box. You can put thick washi down here. You can use it for gratitude, which is what this box was initially intended for. And then you have a sidebar section, and then you have habits, and you have enough for 7 habits. And you still get 7 habits in the horizontal as well. So I just love this. And you can see that the colors in here are gray. So even though the month is in blue, the weeks are going to be in gray. So it's super neutral. All right. So then you go into the weekly reflections. Now, I think technically the weekly reflections are supposed to go, like you're supposed to do weekly actions, your weekly spread, and then these weekly reflections will go towards, like, they'll be reflecting on this week. I'm going to be honest, that's not how I use the planner. So I use it to where this weekly reflections is for this week. Because I like to have my weekly reflections and my weekly actions. I like to be looking at them. So I like to see, okay, these were my weekly actions, and then reflect on them. So, and that's just, to me, that's kind of how it works. But I think technically it should be for the week prior. But again, kind of use it however you think it works for you. So then just going through the month, you have weekly reflections, weekly actions, then your weekly spread. Reflections, actions, weekly spread. And you just kind of go through. There's a lot of weeks in January. So then at the end of the month, you have your monthly reflections. So you're going to look at your month and how you did. And so what were your biggest wins, things that are currently working, things that are not working, what you learned, improvements and adjustments you need to make. What are you most grateful for? Habits you want to nurture next month, an area you want to focus on next month, and then you're going to rate your month. So a lot of these are the same questions that you do on your weekly reflections, but you're looking at it as a month. So then you go into February. So this quote says, life is too short to live by someone else's rules. And then February is red. And you have your quote, you have your goals, and then the same thing. You have your reflections, the date is in the color of the month. Then you have your actions, your weekly. You just go through all of these weekly pages. I'm not going to go through everything, but I just want to show you the months are the same. Like the layout of the months are the same. So then you have your monthly reflections, and then you go into March. So March, it says, embrace the messy bits. I love that quote. That's the quote that's on my 2024 planner. And then March is green. So at the end of March is a little bit different. So once you finish your weeks in March, you go into your monthly reflections as normal, but then you go into your quarterly compass for Q1. So you will do this same thing. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. Number one, you could go on the MakseLife website in the printable section and print off the questions. It's free to print off the questions, and you can answer the questions again. Or you could just kind of go like, as a whole, how are you doing in the personal area? How are you doing in the fun and recreation area, work and learning? I am team do the questions again, just to keep everything even. But I think technically some people will say, but some people will say just go off your gut. So then you put your current scores, and then you put your previous scores. I will say I would not put your previous scores until you put your current scores, because that way you're getting like a truer, a more accurate score, and you're not comparing that to what you were doing, like what your previous score was. And then at the bottom here, you have some questions. Did your scores increase, decrease, stay the same? What personal actions contributed the most to the results? 3 words that describe how you generally felt over the last 90 days, and where is your biggest opportunity for growth? What area of your life will be the main focus over the next 90 days? So then here you have a notes page that you can use for anything you want. I use this page for my quarterly goals because, again, it just works really well to have it right before we go into quarter 2. But you can use it for just different notes for different things, anything you want to use it for. That's just personally how I use it. So then April, it says progress, not perfection. April, the color is gray. May, do it scared, and May is yellow. June, learn to rest, not quit. And that is teal. So then the same thing at the end of June. You have your monthly reflections, your Q2 quarterly compass, and then your notes page. July says, when you feel your best, you do your best. August says, live a life that feels right, not one that looks right. Oh, sorry. And then July, the color is blue. And then August, it is purple. September, don't wait for the opportunity, create it. And that's gray. And then September, you have your monthly reflections, your compass, and then your notes page. October, enjoy the journey. And then it's orange. If you wanted to use sticker kits, if you didn't want the color here and you wanted to use sticker kits, this is very easy to cover up the color, because if you just do like a strip or the big washi at the top and then do the date numbers, then it completely makes this monthly spread your kit colors. So then November says your mindset is your superpower, and it's teal. And then December is choose curiosity over judgment, and it's red. And then at the end of December, you have your monthly reflections, your quarterly compass, and your notes page. And then you have an extras tab that says invest in your future self. Here you have your 2026 year at a glance, same layout as the 2025 one. You have your calendar, your lines, and then a dot grid down here at the bottom. Then you go into notes pages. So you get 2, 4, 6, 7 notes pages that you can do for whatever. I like to, I haven't really decided what I'm going to do, because I do use this as my main planner. So there's some notes pages that may have to do with that, and there's some that may end up being goals. I think one of them may be setting up like wins for the year, having a box for every month, and then just putting it in those wins. So I can go back here and look and see at a glance what were all my wins for the year. I do like that idea. And then you get a folder. So it has a folder on both sides, and you get a sheet of stickers. It just has some functional stickers as well. And then that is the planner. So since this is new, it is a little bit stiffer, just like anything else. But I want to talk a little bit more about the coil, because I realized that I didn't say everything I wanted to say about the coil. This coil is probably one of the best coils that I have a planner in. It's very top quality. It's top quality. I love that it's silver. So it goes with anything. It's so big, especially compared to last year. So if you put these side by side, you can see the difference there in the size. So the coil is a lot bigger, but honestly, there wasn't really any pages. Like the year at a glance for 2025 was added, but that was it. So you're gonna have a lot more space on the coil than the current year. So if you do use stickers, that is gonna be nice, because as we know, stickers can bulk up our planners. So, all right, so that is the planner. The planner itself is $78, and that includes all the planning and the goal setting for you for the year. Okay, there are a couple of gifts with purchase. So if you purchase it during launch, so through October 29th, you will receive this planner charm, or just a charm, and it's the compass wheel. It's super cute. It's very small, but it's really cute. And I usually do not like planner charms, but I really like this one. So if you order a flagship planner, then you will receive the charm through the 29th. They will be in the shop to purchase as well for $8. So if you use their daily planners or any other planner, but you want the charm, then you get that for $8. Additionally, they have, and they've had this for the last 1 or 2 years, you get the Reflections notebook. And these are while supplies last. So let's go through this. I'm going to put this planner aside. So then you get this Reflections notebook. This is in a navy. It has the compass wheel, and then it has 2024 reflections embossed on there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but this is until supplies last, and this is with all orders. So if you buy anything, then you will be able to get this Reflections notebook. This is really good for you to reflect on the year and kind of see what comes out during those reflections of what your goals should be for 2025. So I'm just going to do a quick flip through of this. So it's just 2024 year-end reflections notebook. You have your same contact page. You have a little note from Sierra. And then you have your 2024 year in review compass assessment. So you do this for where you are in 2024 when you're doing it. You have your current, and then you can put your start of 2024 to see how your goals have gone. And it'll say, ask if they've increased, decreased, or stayed the same. The area of life that increased the most and the one that decreased the most. So then it has some reflection questions. So 3 words to describe 2024, 3 words of how you felt, 3 words to describe how I want to feel in 2025. What are you most excited for? What areas of life will be your focus? What are you going to say no to? What are you going to say yes to? What personal needs will you prioritize in the coming year? What are your top 5 values going into 2025? And then it goes into these pages, and these have a lot of room for you to journal. So what were your wins and accomplishments? Then what were some of your highlights or memorable moments? What were your challenges? What did you learn about yourself? How have you changed and grown over the last year? What are you most proud of? What are you the most grateful for? What things are currently working in your life? What's not working? How do you want people to experience you in the coming year? In what ways do you want to create an impact in the lives of your loved ones or the world at large? And then what adjustments do you want to make in your life in 2025? And then a letter to yourself. And then you just have a couple of notes pages. You have 2, 4, 5. So if there's anything else you want to put in there, again, as you're going through this, this would be a good spot if you want to kind of brainstorm things that came out during your reflections that you may want to work on for 2025, or words that popped out that kept popping out for word of the year. Would be a really good to brainstorm. So those are the 2 gifts with purchase. So now let's move into the accessories. Now I do not have all of the accessories, but I will show you what I have, and then we can talk about the rest of the accessories. So the first one is the interchangeable covers. So the one that I picked was this beautiful floral cover, and I think this is from 2021. I think, because I'm pretty sure it is, because I remember debating between this one and the one I got for 2021. So, all right, so this, you have the front, and then you have the back. And then this one, the logo is in that green color. So you can grab your planner. And then the cover just pops off. And then you just would pop on this. Now, again, these are new So they're a little bit more stiff and they are thicker. So they are way thicker than like the laminated cover. So then you would have the floral, and then this cover you could do as the cover too, and you'll have the logo on the back, and then you would do the same thing. So then this one would be here. So just for time, I'm not gonna go ahead and do that on camera, but then you would have that on the back. So each of the covers you actually get 2 options with, but I love this. This is super bright. I hope that you can see how bright this is. Like, this is a very bright pink. So let's talk about the covers as a whole, because I realized I did not say what covers are available for the flagship. So for the flagship, you have the Inspire that I have. You also have, and I'll pop up a picture of these so you can see. You also have the Floral. You have the Spring Meadow. You have the Pebble. You have Forest, Dream Big, and Wildflower. Those are the covers that are available with the flagship planner. Not all of those are available in interchangeable. So if you are looking for one specific that is not available with interchangeable, then I would buy the flagship and that cover and then get the interchangeable, and if you really love another one of those. The interchangeable covers are from previous years. So if you really loved a cover from a previous year and you missed out on it, then this is the interchangeable covers are gonna be, you're gonna really like those. Not all of them from previous years are available. So, and I'll pop these up on the screen. So from 2020, the first year of MakseLife, we have the Secret Garden in blue, yellow, and green. And I actually did not use MakseLife that year. That's the only year that I haven't used it. So then from 2021, you have this floral color and this beautiful pink stripe. Then you have the chevron color, very good neutral option. Then you have one that is blue and it says hold on to your vision. That's the one that I actually used for 2021. So then from 2022, you have Blackberry Fields and Floral Dream. And then from 2023, you have Chevron. You have Modern Chevron. So this is a chevron and it has like greens and purples in it. Very pretty. It's the one I chose for 2023. And then you have Watercolor Sunrise. That was a very popular cover that year. And then from this year, you have Wildflower, Spring Meadow, Pebble, Floral, and Inspire. So those are the interchangeable covers. Those are the interchangeable covers, and those are 22. So for $22, you get 2 covers. You get both sides as well. All right, so then let's talk about some of the accessories. And I'll go with the ones I have first. So this year, they have these toolkits. So they have a quarterly toolkit and an annual goals toolkit to kind of help you more with your quarterly, help you quarterly and annually. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. So the annual has 18 sheets. It comes in this nice envelope. So then you have just a couple of things here. So go put that off to the side. So this first sheet, you kind of have a perpetual calendar. So this first page has January through April. And then it flips out. And then you have May, June, July, August, September through December. So it just flips out and you have your perpetual calendar. And I like these because these actually fit in the folder in the back. So if you wanted to have this in your planner, then it would just fit in that folder really nicely. That's one thing I love about MakseLife is when they're creating their products, they really take note of their other products and how they will fit together. So they created this size knowing that you may want to put it in that folder. So they made it sized so you could do that. So you could always have it with you. So that's just one of the things that I really appreciate about MakseLife. So then there's something on the back there. So you have that perpetual calendar. And then you have those goal setting quick tips. These are the quick tips that were on the page that was removed from the planner. And then you have your personal values. It has a site, has a link here to where you can take a values assessment, and it'll have like, it'll say value and then what this means to me. So it has a spot for 5 of those. And then your AM and your PM routines. What's your ideal routine? And then what's your minimum? And I really like this because I struggle with an AM routine just because I'm not a morning person. You know, I'm a night person all the way. So I have what my ideal morning routine would be. But I also, in my mind, I have like minimum, this is what I need to get done. In order to like start my day the way I want to start it, this is the minimum of what I want to do. So I love that they have the ideal and the minimum for you. So then it goes through, has a compass assessment worksheet for each of the areas of life. So personal, your current score, your goal score. So that's kind of when you take your compass assessment, what your current score is. And then as we talked about in the planner, I like to have a goal score of where I want to be at the end of the year. And then what changes need to happen to arrive at your goal score? What does it look like? How do you feel? Brainstorm the ideas below. And then choose 1 to 3 goals from the ideas that will have the highest impact on your life in this area. Make sure it answers the question, how much by when. So I like this because it's taking your personal, like your compass assessment, and even in the questions in the compass assessment, like those may bring out like different things. See where your lowest scores were, your highest scores were. And then what changes do you need to make? Like if you are really struggling with this one specific thing and you want to be here, then what's going to get you from here to here? And then creating goals from that. So then it goes through all of the areas of life, so fun and recreation, work and learning, family and relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial, and then physical environment. So that's kind of like brainstorming, but then it also has powerful questions for your goals for each of the areas of life. So what I would do is, let's go back to the personal one. I would do my compass assessment. I would put my current score and my goal score down. I would put what changes need to happen to arrive at this. But then I would also jump here and say, okay, well, what are my values? What makes me feel happy and fulfilled? And answer these questions. And then from this and this, create the goals from here. Because your answers to these questions are going to bring out some goal ideas as well. So you have that for personal, fun and recreation, work and learning, family and relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial, and then physical environment. And then these are on heavy cardstock. And then you have where you can write your personal mission statement, and then your word of the year and your word it means to you. So I like these. These are on, I'm not sure the weight of these, but they're definitely heavy cardstock. And so you can put these hanging up or put these somewhere where you can see them all the time. So that is the annual toolkit. and that is $16 for all of those. I think that's a great way where just to kind of help you break down even more what you want out of the year and what goals you need to set to get there if you struggle with that. So I think taking like the compass assessment and the intentions and the goal planner and then combining it with this and the 2024 reflections and kind of looking at everything together to figure out what your goals are, I think it's amazing. All right, so let's look at the quarterly one. So the quarterly one comes with 19 pages. It comes in this envelope as well. And I like this envelope because it's a very nice envelope. So if you wanted to keep your stuff in this envelope, then you could. And again, it's sized to where it will fit into the planner. So this one you have a note from Sierra, and then you have your checklist for your quarterly reset. And then you have your quarterly intentions. What could I use more of in my life this quarter? What could I use less of in my life this quarter? What characteristics would I like to nurture this quarter? 3 habits you want to develop. This quarter, I will be more. I will do less. I will give myself grace for. I will let go of, and I will embrace. And then it has a spot where you can put the quarter and the months. So then it actually has a spot for the quarterly goals. So like for me, I use quarterly goals. So what I could do is I could write out my quarterly goals here, and then I could either just create a pocket on that page or write them out again. But I could keep them in the folder so I can easily look at my quarterly goals. So I really do like that because I am a quarterly goals person. I know they're not for everyone, but I find that having a bigger focus on my quarterly goals helps me to break down my monthly goals and everything. So you have that, and this is just like the monthly goals page in the planner. So you have a little line section, you have a focus, and then you have your quarter months up at the top. So then you have your quarterly reflections. Where your major milestones achieved this quarter? How do they align with my annual goals? How have my priorities shifted, and what adjustments are needed to realign with my vision? What new habits or routines have I successfully integrated, and how have they impacted my daily life? And what areas do I face challenges? What strategies have helped me overcome them? How have I nurtured my physical, emotional, and mental well-being this quarter? What new insights of learnings have I gained, and how can they inform my future actions? How have I practiced self-care, and what activities have been most beneficial? What goals did I not meet, and what did I learn from this? How have I extended support to or sought support from my network? And what impacts has this had? Looking ahead, what are my key focus areas for the next quarter, and what steps will I take to address them? So I would probably wait to do the whole toolkit before you write down your goals. Then you have a monthly tracker. So if there's something that you want to track, then you can do that. So you have all of your habits here. So then you get one of these, and this is a shaded line, so you could write something down there or not. So you get one of those, so that's the same thing. Okay, so then you have 1, 2, 3 of those. So you could do it where 1 is for each month, which I think is because it has month at the top. And then you have a monthly recap. So you put the month at the top, and then what are you watching, listening to, reading, learning, eating, drinking, loving, celebrating, creating, and feeling. So then you get 3 of those. And then you have your ideal week. So you can break that down. It does go from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then you have your wins and highlights, so celebrating and then the date. And then you have 3 of those, 1 for each month. And then you have gratitude, so you're grateful for. And then you have 3 of those, 1 for each month. Sorry, these papers are... And then your yes, no list. What are you saying no to? What are you saying yes to? And then a spot for a seasonal bucket list. So that is the quarterly toolkit. So 1 quarterly toolkit will be good for 1 quarter. And then the quarterly toolkit is also $16. So I think those are really great to just really reflect and dig deep into how your quarter, not only how your quarter went, but how you want your next quarter to be, and to help set those quarterly goals. If you like to set quarterly goals. So those are the accessories that I have, but let's talk about everything else. So the first thing I want to talk about is the desk easel. And I will pop up a picture of everything so you can take a look at it and see what it looks like. But even though I don't have them here, I still wanted you to be able to see what's available. So the desk easel, it has 53 weeks, and each week has a journaling prompt. And not only does it have a journaling prompt, it is perforated. And so it has a spot for you to journal on that sheet. So you can tear it out, journal on it, and then you can stick it in your planner for that week, or you can stick it up in your office or your home, so you can see that for the week. And that is $25. The next thing is the planner folios. These come in a cream and a midnight navy. These are really good. They have a lot of pockets. They have zipper pockets. They have a spot for 2 pens in there. And they have a spot for pretty much all of your accessories. And it will hold your flagship planner. So this will it will hold the 7x9 flagship. So this will pretty much hold most of any 7x9 planner that you have. Don't quote me on that. There may be some out there that it does not, but it is pretty big. It also has a 2-button closure, so if you need a little extra room, then you have that. So the folio is for $58. The next thing is the accessory caddy. So this was built to hold your accessories, so it will hold your markers, your pens, your sticky notes from MakseLife. It will has 2 pockets in the front, so you can put your washi in there. And also the back of it actually flips back and then snaps to the back of it. So if you can stand it up, and the top of it is not flapping around. I hope that makes sense. And the caddy is $45. The next thing are the 2 notepads. So they have the Just Begin checklist notepad. It is a it is a vertical notepad, and it has checkboxes already printed on the notepad in the colors of the areas of life. And these notepads, both of these notepads come with their 120 GSM paper. So it's still the same paper quality that you get in the planner. So the long list pad says Just Begin, and then they have a smaller one and it says Living My Best Life. It's like this side. It's more kind of a short rectangle. And both of those notepads are $15. They also have a functional sticker pack. So if you're a very functional planner, you want a lot of functional stickers in the areas of life colors, this is a really good pack for you. It has 16 sheets of stickers that include a lot of different functional stickers like we saw in the back page of the planner. And then this sticker pack is $26. And that is all of the accessories in the planner. So I really do love the launch this year. I think they have a lot of awesome things that are coming out. I think one thing about the Makse team is they are so intentional with what they release, and they don't really want to release something until it's perfect. So the interchangeable covers, the caddy, I know they have been working on, the folio they've been working on for a long time, but they just have felt like it's not ready to go to market until it's perfect. And so that is just something that I really appreciate about their team and the quality of their products. And it's just a great planning and goal setting system. I do want to just talk about a little bit about the companion notebooks. If you do not need the flagship planner, if you have a planner that you are in and you love, it is working for you, and you do not want to change your main planner, they still have their companion notebooks. And these are notebooks like this size. They're thicker, of course, and they have the goal setting pages. So you get one book for each quarter, and then you get a book with your goal setting, like the front starting pages. So you don't get the weekly pages, but you'll get like a monthly spread, and then your weekly reflections and your weekly actions and your goal pages for every month of the quarter. That is a really good option. They still have those on their website. So those are available. They're available now, but if you were looking for new ones for 2025, then there's not new colors, so it'll be the same colors options that we've had before. Also, the monthly notebook where it has the goal planning pages and then notes pages, and that is spiral bound, those are still on the website, and those are not, there's nothing new coming out for those. So those are the two things that I did want to mention. If you are interested in those, then you the ones that are on the website are the ones that they will have until they sell out. All right, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like I said in the beginning, I'll have a link to shop along with a discount code so you can save some money when you shop. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you love the products as much as I do, and I hope you have a great day.